Travis? Hey, I'm Joe.
Hey, how you doing,
Nice
Joe?
to meet
How are
you.
you?
Congratulations. You mind if I have a seat real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. So again, my name's Joe. Part of the business department here. So part of my job and responsibilities is going over all the tech and title work, a little bit about the warranty that's included in the car, and go through those little minute details. Care if I start?
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's get rolling.
So you're buying the two-door, was a Range Rover?
Two-door Defender.
Defender.
Yep.
How do you like that car?
I love it. I love it.
I don't see two doors a lot.
Nope. And that's why I like it. It's the best of both worlds. I get a coupe-like feel. I get the comfort and convenience.
Yeah.
I get off-road utility. It's a 7,000-pound vehicle, so it's very substantial. And I run a business as well, so I get to depreciate it under my business all at the same time.
And you get the tax benefits.
There you go.
And you're trading in the 2018 Macan GTS?
Yep. You got it.
Us, working at Porsche, I have a special part in my heart for these cars. How'd you like the Macan GTS? How was your ownership on it?
I absolutely love the GTS. Again, I felt it was the best of both worlds. I had a 718 Cayman before I transitioned into the Macan because my now 4-year-old daughter, when she was born, my wife said, look, you got 3 cars, including this Cayman. At this point, you're not going to be able to drive or enjoy. You're going to have to consolidate. I don't care how you do it, but that you do it. So
I feel like the Defenders are the best of both worlds, right? It's a 2-door like the Cayman, right? It's an SUV like the Macan GTS, right? So you get, it all makes sense.
You see where I'm going.
Yeah. And I saw the color, man. Listen, I have had 13 black cars in a row. Every single one of my cars has been black.
That's awesome.
I love it. When it's clean, it looks perfect,
Yes.
right? You can't go wrong with a black car.
But you got to keep it clean.
I know, that's the problem. You got to keep it clean. But when it looks clean, it's the best looking car that's out there. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
100%.
But so I was looking through a little bit of your records on the Macan GTS. So you service that with your local dealer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you have a good relationship with them?
I do,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
I've been working with Hugo in service for about 10 years now.
Nice.
So, and he's always been my super consistent guy that I know that I can trust, that he provides valuable information. When there's something wrong, he lets me know, and he's great on follow-up. He even calls me on my happy birthday, which I
know it's so hard to find places like that.
100%.
You know what I mean? It's like the little small details when it comes down to buying cars. It's like you buy a car at one place and then down the road you don't hear any follow up after the sale's done.
That's it.
That's so important, man.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, I completely understand that. So, but as far as a lot of driving, I know your Macan GTS, you got 72,000 miles on it.
Yep.
It's a 2020, so you're doing kind of like the same driving with the Defender.
No, I have multiple cars.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, now it's been 4 years in the future. So obviously my daughter's 4. We've expanded our now fleet of vehicles now. So I'm probably only gonna be doing about 10,000 miles a year.
Okay.
So
yeah. Short commutes, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know what's your route. Like I go when I go up there, I'm usually 270. A little bit of highway driving. I don't know what the same commute.
So I am 795, 695 to 95 to 50.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm crossing all beltways. I'm crossing all beltways.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
So I typically drive my Tesla to go back and forth to work.
Okay.
So that way I don't have to expense any gas.
Cool.
The Defender is going to be literally the weekend car.
Yeah.
My wife and I love to go out on the weekends. We do dinner, we do evening cocktails. So that's typically when we pull up, as they say, that's the vehicle we're going to be pulling up in.
And crossing all those highways with the snow recently, because you're going to be great in this car. All that
Absolutely.
technology that's inside of it.
It's funny.
You don't even have to worry about it.
That is so
2-door,
true.
you press, the automatic 4-wheel drive mode. You make sure all this all the suspension components are right.
Yep.
You just click and go, which is nice.
And it's very important because the other piece is I live on a very steep hill where you go from flat to about 180 degrees. You go right up, and we're on top of the hill. So it's about 2 years ago, my wife, who was driving a Hyundai Elantra down the hill, hit ice, and the vehicle literally flew down the hill, and right at the bottom of the hill, there's oncoming traffic. At the very last minute, the vehicle engaged the brakes.
That's insane.
And had it not, she would have gotten in a car accident.
Of course.
So
It's
it
so
was after
dangerous.
that, yeah. So it was after that, I said, okay, no matter how many vehicles we have, we need to
Yeah,
make sure we have something
yeah,
that's utilitarian.
Well, Defenders are perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
So now, no
and
issues.
of course, you know, you know what I mean. The car kind of does it by itself now with all the
Yep.
technology that's inside of it. So, I mean, and you know this too. You know the tires that are on the car are important. You know, the Hyundai Elantra are a little bit smaller tires and a little bit bigger tires on the Defender. A lot of stuff. So, but we're getting into semantics here. But let me get into a couple things on my end.
Okay.
These are all the terms that you agree to with our sales department.
Okay.
Again, part of my job is just making sure everything's tight. You know, when we come to register the car, make sure everything's exactly as you know we put in writing here.
Okay.
Spelling your name, and then 123 Main Street. And do you have an apartment number or a unit number?
Yeah,
You do?
83.
83. Okay,
Mhm.
cool. Just want to make sure it's right there. Perfect. We already went over the car. So the 2024 Land Rover Defender. Your payoff here with your Macan GTS is 13.5. Our selling price is 61.5. With taxes and fees, brings our subtotal here with the payoff we just talked about. 54.4 with the $1,000 down payment, leaves us at 53.4. Were you planning to put any other money down? Travis,
10
or just-
grand down.
10 grand. Okay,
10 grand
let's
down.
get that updated. 10,000. You can do a check, credit card, partial, both.
Check.
Okay, cool, got it. So very good. All right, and then we'll go into insurance. Make sure all this insurance information is right. Sam Davis is your agent. I've never heard of him. Where's he from?
He's actually from Central Florida.
Really?
Yep.
How'd you get in contact with that guy?
Actually, family friend. My mom helped him start his insurance agency with Allstate, and and she found that because she went to a franchise expo, and they were showing people how to go from being the insurance agent to owning your own brokerage.
Does he have like a conglomerate of different ones?
So now he has one of the top Allstate insurance offices in Baltimore.
So he solely does Allstate.
Solely does Allstate, but he runs one of the highest producing offices in Baltimore.
No, like the relationship is so important. I remember when I first got my insurance agent about 15 years ago. He was just with Allstate. And recently, and you know how this, when it comes down to, saving yourself a little bit of money on stuff, he has this conglomerate of insurance that he gives me different options. So, that relationship's important.
It is important.
It is important.
So that
and knowing
way,
somebody and being able to send the VIN number and all that, makes things a lot easier. So
Absolutely.
I understand that. Okay, correct to spell your name. The most important part, making sure the VIN number matches what we're signing, which it does. Perfect. We got the expiration date and the policy number, and 500 comprehensive, 500 liability, correct?
Okay. Yeah.
Did they go over, any sort of, coverage when it comes down to, the deem of a total loss? If a vehicle would be total loss, did they go over those? options with
No. Honestly, just like we talked about, I called him.
Sure.
I sent him my information. He said, "Okay, cool, no problem. I'll lock it in," and he sent me the updated insurance.
Okay, perfect. Excellent. Very good. All right. And then moving on to the last bit here is our consumer statement. I see that all of these items line up here. So 123 Main Street, got that. Zip code is 12345. You've been there 3 years, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You're renting and paying $1,600 a month.
Mm-hmm.
You work for U.S. Opportunity. What is that?
So actually, it's a temporary agency.
Okay.
So we provide opportunities to people who are having trouble getting jobs. So we have a suite of options that we assign to them as temporary jobs while they find their permanent placement. And also, depending on what company they end up joining and loving, we end up finding them permanent placement within one of the companies that we have available.
That almost sounds like K-Force, if you ever heard of them before.
No,
they do.
no, I've never heard
so
of
K-Force
K-Force.
does the exact same thing. So what they're doing is they're kind of finding people in their temporary positions and trying to put them in the long-term positions.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool, because you're following up with people, and you find out what this is like. Different companies, right? Different companies have different regulation and rules, and a lot of them that are very successful when it comes down to retaining their people. They do a good job with that. So sounds like a good job.
Yeah.
You've been there a total of 6 years? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. We went through your credit union information. So your credit union is your checking, and then you have your American Express and your MasterCard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You've been there with them for quite some time.
Yeah, they know me very well. Just saying.
Keep swiping it. All right, and then we already have your signature here at the bottom. Very good.
We're good.
All right, Travis. So I'm going to do now, you just got to give me about 5 minutes. I'm going to put all this information into my office to get everything set up for the final prep of your delivery.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions before we move on to the next step?
No, I think you've done a great job.
Okay.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
absolutely.
Of course, man.
Perfect.